Walang disagreement.
When depende no personal base no situation based jay problem. Mas lakas jay siguro di.
The thing I like is they ingord ko na at the end ngayon after that after the meeting
Just a table coffee
conference
conference.
afterwards ngayon ay ba na tag kape na pa.
And by the way, when we go to that coffee
session.
date, coffee session, we do not talk about
what happened
after
the meeting. During the meeting.
We just talk about life.
Yeah. And at least doing that, you are understanding where the other person is coming from. Right?
Yes. That's actually
Dati kong kunak.
Ang podcast na ito ay sponsored by Frederick Wallang, and si Mr. Frederick Wallang ay naghanap ng mga tao na mayroong Japanese Language Proficiency Test or JLPT N3, N2, or N1 na gustong magtrabaho sa BPO. Ang salary doon or ang sweldo ay aabot ng 50,000 pataas, depende sa inyong JLPT proficiency. For more information, you can contact Frederick Wallang through his Facebook. The link is in the description text.
It is the cure to disagreement. You have to understand where the other person is coming from, and it goes both ways. The other person must understand where the other person is coming from. That the understanding, and then disagreement will be cured if both of you will look at the guidelines and talk about it.
At the same time, at that time, you are a student in his professional so
yeah.
Si kas lang ay nakuha na diya yun talagang I have to buy have a table coffee just to go in there just to fix everything.
Lumalagablab sa prinsipyo.
Baka day prinsipyo kontra day prinsipyo na isong
prinsipyo
alangan nga si kamot tiyag pakapi. At that time amo na nga iso nati agkokwa da kayo ko iso nga di gusto matpiman nito picture mo nga talaga, although there are some talaga nga iso na piman ko ti make something kasla coffee man.
We've talked a lot about education. Let's try to talk about politics a little bit. What is your view of the current leadership of our town?
You mean the current?
Yeah. I mean, let's just talk about the past. Let's talk about the current. These are personal views, and nobody will view it. So let's just talk about it.
In terms of what?
Everything. It's leadership, things like that.
In terms of politics. During the time of let us see kampanya ka pa lang. You have to say
A lot of things.
either indirect or a direct. Now when you will be to be selected as one. Apang kay jay dorda, knock the door and try to ask their problems.
Problems.
Yes, when you will be elected, to ask their problem and try to address it. You really show that you care. But although not considered bad, but when you are already there, you try to insinuate to your constituent nga you don't know the problem because they don't tell the problem. You try to conceptualize that situation.
Analyze.
And try to analyze. As lang ay you are trying to say that every person that I will go, I will talk to them, I will be someone who really nga agibagano nyat kasapulan and we will try to combine and come up with a solution.
Yeah.
Then here comes
When you're in power.
you are now on that position. You try to sing I don't know the problem. There is a
disconnect.
There is already disconnection at that case. Yan pasjay. Although we know nga day ngay naiatang king ka as someone considered the leader but very kwan because you're a public figure, right? every move, every kwan nga aramid,
Every
there
people's
is
looking
always
at
a
you.
question.
Yeah. Yes.
There is always a question. At dadagiday namang question kin ka, apay ngay naramid na di ay, but you have also the reason. Naramid ko di ay kastoy-kastoy, but maybe do it in kwan ngay, tay sometimes
During
you
the
are
lesson.
already there. You have the power. Yun, kaslangay no, one panunutok na sitwasyon, tatakot. Very kwa ngay, at the moment kat very nagmayat ngay, di kwada, the slogan itself is something kasla that we heard and we hear. Just simply hearing it in just kwa, that's very kwan. But in contrary, I just came to the situation nga, kwa gayam, we heard, Ostopi man gayam day nga we heard day lang mangda.
They heard.
When, how about ngay day makikita da? How about ngay day mapanpanunot da nga possible? So nga day ngay kwa, day since day ngay kot hanggang years lang no nya ti mangagda, they will act on it. Kasano ngay day makita da?
This podcast is brought to you by Millennial Tech. Millennial Tech could ma-repair the printer, ma-install the CCTV, repair the cellular phone, computer, and other electrical appliances. For more information, mabali na ibisita nyo da ida at Kubo Building, Proper Abatan, Bugyas, Benguet, or you can contact them through their cell phone number 0910-255-0382, or you can visit their Facebook page, Millennial Tech.
No, yeah, just kas lang ay nga kakuan tayo lang kas ano nga day mapanunot da. Kas ano nga day maangot da.
That's the comedy brilliance of Sir Ryan.
Kas ano nga day maangot da because we have to use our senses, not only they kuan nga itay no kitak naman ingsan kot we heard.
So there's something wrong with the slogan? we sense.
No. The slogan is very clear and loud. But I they panang kwak ijay heard. But it's not only about ears. I thought akot they heard once you have eyes also kot nakitam, that's a part of I heard. They naibaga, not only they may baga no they naangot mo, they na feel mo, it's a part of kuwangay. I came to di bumay bayagan sakto maawatan nga tama pala. The slogan is really
accurate.
But the slogan na talaga nga day iso nga day term nga ron nga kandamat nga ibaga kanya. How will I address or how will I react on that matter? Tay ngord pi man they sense ngord pi man kot they hearing. Iso nga may mayat gayam nga kwaya. Kung amuay no niya ti mayat no heard.
We sense.
We heard and we heard.
We
We
sense.
heard, we sense, we see. Talaga nga kwa kwa nga ron nga kaslang nga no panunutom ka talaga nga I was kwa na naman ingsan ko kasla dagi day term na nga they are nagtungtong da amin can they agreed on the situation. Do you think dagiday I'm just kuan at a simple situation a certain situation
Yeah.
at that time iti kuan nga di ay what do you call that jay ECQ. Do you think they vice me or me dagiday others because they say they convene before they do the announcement or pronouncement of something.
Yeah.
Sa danto yung pronounce nga golf da for constituent santo gayam day ag golf but the others are coming from Baguio. Kaday do you think there is kwan ijay nagtutungtong da nga rod amin ijay to come up with that announcement.
Yeah.
Ano something nga no maningsan kot day ko ibagbaga tayo but the people already concluded that there's something wrong.
Especially if you restrict the local population.
Yeah.
You restrict the local population, then you
The-
invite
The other.
outer, you know, you invite non-voters of Mangkayan, and then you allow them to do something that you restrict to the local population. Of course, you will anger the local population.
I understand the plight. Like what you said. I don't know if maybe there's an understanding of how big the responsibility of holding that position. There was an understanding of that. The person is bright, but the thing is, he didn't foresee that there are some other things that needs to be considered at the same time. I understand that maybe there's a good reason behind why people do that. And we're back sa ating
Shot ka man.
no. Cheers natin. Hanggang shot. No, we're back. Maraming tawag si Sir Ryan, kaya yung magbakta tayo. Nalipat ako. He has I mean, let's just say that
Both sides.
going to that position entails a lot of things, and he has to pay attention to a lot of things. That's the reason why yun siguro yung sinasabi na you have to come to me to listen. One more thing is that there was a designated person in charge of us, especially in our caring for us. I would say I would put the blame on that person.
As you mean education.
Yeah, in the education, I would put a blame on that person for not looking at the plight of the education sector. I would say that. And we're back. Our video dropped. What I'm trying to say here is that, like what I said a while back, the position has a lot of things to consider, things to pay attention to. At the same time, there was a designated person who is in charge of us. The thing is, I would put a blame on that person for not having or not convening with the with our sector to see what's going on.
No, it's like this.
And I would say what you're saying is that maybe the thing that is a violation. But the thing is, maybe there's a good reason behind.
Yes,
Yeah,
and everything
maybe.
that good reason
Let's just put it
behind
that way.
for
Yeah.
the chosen one. Maybe for one.
Or the chosen. Yeah. And you continue what you're saying, and I'll just check the video, okay? You continue.
When we deal with restricting people,
Ang podcast na ito ay sponsored by Frederick Wallang, and si Mr. Frederick Wallang ay naghanap ng mga tao na mayroong Japanese Language Proficiency Test or JLPT N3, N2, or N1 na gustong magtrabaho sa BPO. Ang salary doon or ang sweldo ay aabot ng 50,000 pataas, depende sa inyong JLPT proficiency. For more information, you can contact Frederick Wallang and through his Facebook. The link is in the description text.
you will be expecting too much reaction.
Tama.
But then if the people will understand that if everybody is restricted, they will understand you as a leader.
They will follow.
But again, if you consider someone and you do not the others, of course, as what Ryan is saying, we see, sometimes we hear, but we did not smell.
And if there's a restriction, there must automatic nga there's no consideration. Because once nga nag-consider ka, the restriction is no longer
Valid.
At the same time, there is a what we call the slippery slope. Yeah. Once tama yun. There's the slippery slope that once you consider someone to do these things, they're excused. They're excluded from the guidelines. That is a slippery slope. Others will soon complain. Tama yun.
Actually, natural natural ngay nga ada ngay gumatit term rather than saying complain, question, or trying to question the restriction once nga consider mo the one. But actually, although directly complaining, but you're just simply questioning the nga ron mangyari. But no panunutan kat we are not still they thinking maybe capacity, the knowledge na, but we are not comparing, we are brighter or whatever. We know
we're just
guts, they have the guts because they are chosen. They are already in that.
We're just questioning the decision, which is something, yun lang siguro. What else can we say about the leadership climate?
It's like this, I do not know, but I think he is overshadowed of his plan to go to higher office. Because during the election, he utterly, accordingly, allegedly, plans to go to a provincial post and to give him a chance to parang stepping stone here in Mangkayan. In that, the way he created his
legacy.
His campaign machinery. It's not for municipal base. I know a relative of mine is under his machinery. The machinery they have created is not, or maybe not, but it's less proper here in Mangkayan.
Less applicable?
Less applicable, yes. Less applicable, because I am speaking of the information or, propagandist na. Everything that he is doing, pati samot pa nagkakan, na i-record. Pati pa nagsubo na i-record. That is actually...
But that would be a very good strategy.
It's a very good strategy, but not on the culture of Imangkayan. I think so. Let's wait and see.
Let me play the devil's advocate here. Don't you think that the what we call the politics culture of Mangkayan is changing, that will be embraced by Mangkayan?
It will be embraced, but I think it's not yet on this time.
Not yet on this time. Okay.
A lot of people that, especially here, they are actually reacting.
Okay.
It's overemphasizing, it's too much, nakakaumay na.
Okay.
The things like that.
So would you say the same to our Congress representative?
Well,
it's not, anyway, acceptable kasi hindi siya taga rito.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one more thing, it's in a larger scale.
Okay. Yeah.
We are speaking of the conservative Imangkayan pa lang. So I think the propagandist will be effective when he will be bidding for governorship. But if he will be bidding for Imangkayan, I think maybe it's not an advantageous in his side.
Let's go to the positive changes.
No, what I mean kasi in term of through observation. The term ni Sir nga dating it might be they will embrace. But for me, it's already embraced. But during the process, adang iti untimement because of the improper maybe in proper language or in proper content or in proper technicalities of the advocacy.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
If you try to see the trends iti response.
Oh, yes, yes, correct,
Respondents
correct.
from the
And those responses are coming from one or two individual only. I'm observing it.
today.
Yes.
But before they're responding. Everyone is responding. They are actually about 1,000 or about 500. Then here comes nga kaslang ay day ko nga day panang arakop da idikat kaslang ay mawar-war
Okay.
There's they should do see day ko nga see day lapses no. What anya ba ti I'm not trying to advise them because they are advisor.
No, but what I want to know here is, was there a positive change that happened?
In term of
Previous
in terms of
administration.
in terms of comparing it to other, because that's how we benchmark. We compare it to the previous, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the positive things that happened? Wow. Wait.
in term of project,
Yeah.
I consider that this really a positive change.
Yeah.
But I'm not considered it as coming from the, I will not credit it in the low in this I will credit it in the upper Congress.
Okay.
Because of the fund coming the from. If we are going to base from the news, we don't know if that is real or not. Before it's only about 6 billion. Then here comes about 20. So there's really a lot of project distributed in the different areas.
Strategically distributed, you say?
Maybe a tendency man because their engineering
Yeah.
is maybe and kasi if you're looking on the spot that okay lang mo, it's good. But there are some project ngayon I don't know. No, I will consider DJ ayan me nga instead nga they will anya bati if you are if you are a simple anya tion mga simintuan sakbay nga simintuan jay kanal for example jay bababa or jay ngato there will be a good flow of water. Okay. Jay anya ngay kumati simintuan so most likely iyon unam jay ngato, di ba? Tapno tendency na ituloy mo.
Yeah.
Okay nga imun ona day baba that will be something wrong ngay nga maybe a part of foundation na siguro but I don't know they in term of engineering
Maybe you cannot blame him but blame the engineer.
Blame the engineer.
But for me also it's like this. Primarily we cannot actually compare because of the pandemic.
Okay.
Not unless we have an officer pandemic noong 1900s.
So
We cannot
really
actually directly compare no to the immediate the previous
Yeah.
And then my point here is that I made an initiative of looking the votes last election,
Okay.
and I saw the programs or maybe projects of the barangays on the less vote they received. Parang na-be behind sa...
Does it coincide with the percentage of votes?
I believe it's so.
parallel
Yeah,
like that,
something like
yeah.
that. But then, again, maybe directly...
Maybe that's just you looking for a conspiracy. Let's just put it that
maybe,
way.
and maybe directly affected to circumstances
Because
due
of
to
the pandemic, right? Yeah.
And then, strategy-wise, siguro, it could help him
Yeah.
for a re-election. But that is an observation that I share with others.
I see. Okay. Let's go national. I read the news a while back na Duterte will be running for vice president. Would that be agreeable to your taste? Go ahead.
In the urban areas, maybe Duterte is losing taste.
Mhm.
But then, when you go to rural areas, I believe Duterte is still strong.
Is it?
Because of the changes he was able to implement during his term. Not
Yeah.
only the infrastructure, but also administratively.
Mhm.
Like for example, MOOE.
May nabawasan mo to?
Ang dapat na yun.
It is increasing.
Is it?
And comparing to the three administration
Yeah, before him.
before him, malaki ang increase ng MOOE.
Oh,
Parte
okay.
ko ang pilibayanihan guys.
Anyway, during his term,
Mhm.
and then one more thing, ayuda. Marami ang nagrereklamo sa ayuda, but then if you see how many president that the Philippines have, siya lang atang may presidenteng nagbigay ng ayuda eh.
Because of the pandemic.
Yes, but
Meron
hello,
namang ayuda si Gloria, yung for peace.
year in, year out, na meron tayong mga bagyo.
Mm.
But then, today, I think, nobody will complain that they have received
Is that this?
such ayuda.
Yeah. But the apayhan nga distasteful that parang linalaro mo na yung position. Coming from the highest position and then you go a little bit down just to hold power. Parang that's my view.
No, for me, it's not. Because he's not holding power as a vice president.
Yeah, he's just
He's a decorative officer,
he's just a
actually.
decorative. All of the vice actually of the
Okay.
government of the Philippines are decorative.
No. Because vice
They
mayor
are next in
example,
line, yeah.
no, vice mayor example, meron siyang function.
It can be held by the council.
No.
The function can be held by the council.
Yes, pero ang main function niya is to preside
Yeah, but that
sa
was,
meeting ng
that was
council.
that was given to them so that they can have function.
Yes, but then sa president, walang function siya. Yung only function ng vice president is to wait for the president
next
to
in line
die
is
or to
decorative.
resign.
Yes, exactly. But then all of the vice are decorative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But then it's like are you trying what? are
no.
you trying to do?
Because
if
it's unusual.
Mm.
The term is, it's unusual for a president to go
below, right?
below
Yeah.
vice president
Vice president.
in the entire world. It's unusual actually. But if you will be looking on the constitution, ano bang trabaho ng vice president? Wala,
Next in line.
di ba? Maybe
Nohan nga may
For-
nohan nga may kanti cabinet na
wala.
wala
And
talaga.
actually, I do not agree that the vice president will be holding a cabinet.
President.
Especially if they are in the Philippines, the president and the vice president does
Sometimes
not
don't belong to the same
the same party, because for me the work of the vice president is to support
The president
the president,
supposed to be.
but then we have a different political system here that make it complicated.
Yeah, it is really complicated.
And maybe looking at how Duterte handles things, maybe he will be pointing out that when he becomes a vice president, whoever wins as a president, he is just there to
Wait, just in case.
wait. Not talk, actually. Not to
I
react.
don't believe not talk. I don't believe in terms of not talking. I would not believe that.
Kasi
Tirada na
politics, if we are trying to see the lineup, a possible lineup or possible president, maybe the anak mga ni Sarah.
Yeah,
Then here comes mabalin siguro ng taray ni Marcos.
yeah.
Actually,
Then,
he is a contender.
then here comes maybe
Lacson.
ante pa nga mo, maybe Lacson.
No, actually, Lacson is already there, already decided.
Dinay.
Here we come. Then ni President Duterte trying
Idagdag
to...
mo naman yung paborito ko doon.
Sino?
Pacquiao.
Oh. Okay. Then here we come ni president trying to move down a vice president. Then if we try to see the kwan na piman ko na ka. Because I really in term of the dynasty ako na that I will not agree. But in term iti kwagamin, we don't know. Ita is already matured. Lakayan dia has the wisdom. Ano maning sanput ustuday ko na nga the vice president must stand para ide president.
Yeah.
No, in case nga ni anak na ti mangabak,
Good.
maybe there is a very good communication, but the power will be
Still.
the power ko ada kanya na at the same time there is no maybe there will be a good communication ng the power kat iso na lata. In term the other mot no in case nga ni Marcos maybe agko iso na ti as a a vice president kasi we are trying to compare nga itata nga there is a imbis nga the vice president will support the president nagbinaligtad mo he try to criticize the president, then here come the president criticizing also the vice president. So there's no actually there's no what we call the position nga mayat kuma
Ti unison da.
so panpanuno tumaykat kaslangan no agtaray man iso na kat inkis na mapag-asatan no inkis nga ni Lacson at tendency naman there will be we don't know
May pasaring-pasaring na.
Magkataon nga
Doon
kasi
magaling
ni
si Lacson
Marcos mabalin nga good siguro pa lang agkuada tay adamon tiko iso nga if the 30 kat trying to maybe in my trying to ipakita na that there must be a there must be a support from the vice president nga from the president na kasangay kaslatata but in make it maybe they maybe 30 kat I don't believe nga taray iso nga vice president maybe it's just it's just a
strategy
or a strategy nga
Because they're waiting for who's that? Bongo kani ka? To run. But
talagang kitak the situation kat kasla kasjay because the strategy da kaya bihay kat long term no long term strategy kat day nga we are trying to come up with mga makita nga lagi the other senators other side senators nga kaslan nga agsasaudan nga their aim is to destroy nga kaslan nga their aim there's a time nga it's already nonsense the nga people all around the they are already sensing it's really political propaganda nga just to destroy the black propaganda nga kunada isong panpanunutan kat the strategy na nga kat something nga hanto yung amo kung na lang di but I just don't believe nga he will run for vice president. Maybe they siguro ni Sara siguro na kuna naman iso na kwati president but
just
alangan nga ag-line up da
or they're just making
an issue nga
they are just trying to make a path kasi once gawin nga nag-declare kapi man ditakot ka they are making a path. I believe it will be for Bongbong Marcos they are making a path
for Bongbong
Marcos.
Kasla kita di sitwasyon ko kasla kasi isong ka kataglaylo just before nga nagkuha iso na he's not running for a president but he's already his mouth is not in accordance with his action kuha nga will not run for a president here come nga nga last election sa ganito ibanat iso na so they tao ko nagkwada mo tin they among they takot ko lakay he's already how many politics
more than 40 or because kasla kayo sumutin taklan